The Blades Ramble are proudly supported by our main channel sponsor, My Business Group, a group of brands designed to support owners, leaders and managers in business. We would not be where we are without the incredible support of John and the team. If you're looking to grow your business, contact mybusinessgroup.co.uk today for more information or follow the link in the description below. And as this is 90 after 90, I want to thank our sponsors, Cosmetic Repair Solutions, an independent award-winning network of vehicle accident repair centres located in Chesterfield, Rotherham, Dinnington, Barnsley and Derby. Visit the website to find out more or get an estimate at cosmeticrepair.co.uk.
Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and this is 90 after 90, up to 90 minutes after the 90 minutes that's just gone. It doesn't have to be 90 minutes long. We don't have to go for 90 minutes, but we can do if that's what you want. I am struggling tonight, so there was no after party, unfortunately. No after party. I was ready. I had all my gear with me. I'd agreed to go to the Hilton and celebrate if we'd have won. And that will be the new thing, won't it? If we win at home, we'll do a live stream from the Hilton. And that'll be a regular feature going forward. So thank you to the Hilton for their support with that. It was great to meet up with everybody as usual before the game today at Triple Point. Great to see a lot of the Platinum Ramblers and those that aren't Ramblers and things like that. And it's just great to all get together and sort of the calm before the storm, or not much of a storm, was it today? What do we feel? How do we feel about the game? I thought we were the better side, and I thought there were a lot of positives to take out of today. So I don't want it to be misconstrued that it's just 0-0 at home to QPR is nothing to write home about, and that's no offence to QPR. But they've lost 3 games on the spin before coming to Bramall Lane today. It's the sort of game we needed to win, essentially. Get in front and win. And we didn't do that, and that is disappointing. I think a positive way you can look at it is we've kept a clean sheet. And I know that's a small thing to hold on to. We've kept a clean sheet. I think we were the better side throughout the game, particularly in the second half, which is, again, a good marker. My overall feeling, however, and I don't like saying this, but it's how I'm honestly feeling about it. I think we are just an average championship side. And I get no... That's just my general thoughts on it, really. I don't think we've got anybody spectacular. I don't think we've got an Illiman and Die in this side that will light up the league. I don't think we've got a goal scorer that will go and grab us 15, 20 goals in a season. I don't think we've got an outstanding player in the side. Obviously, we've got Gosema, who's a very bright spark, but very inconsistent. Best player in the league, and I understand that. But is he going to be the difference maker between, we're not going to get automatic promotion this season, are we? We're not. We're not. That's surely, for even the most optimistic of Blades, that is off the table. But is Gosema going to be the difference between championship obscurity and the playoffs? I don't think he is. I don't think we make the playoffs this season, unfortunately. I think it's a bridge too far. And I think you look at some of our squad now, and we are an average championship side. I could go through the team. I think Cooper's very good for the level. I think Femi Sariki's certainly unproven at the level. Played well today. I enjoy him as a player. I think he's a decent championship player. Probably got the potential to go on and improve. Not sure about him as a right back. Like him as a right wing back. Tanganga, liked him at right centre half. Didn't think he did much wrong today. He is very cool, calm, and confident in a lot of his play. I think he looks like he's playing in second gear, but really is a lot more switched on to what's around him. Having said that, there were the odd occasions where he'd give the ball away needlessly, so he needs to sharpen up a little bit. He looks like he's lethargic as he's jogging around, but obviously there's a player in there. We know what we're getting with Tanganga. It was basically a swap for an L for a player on a longer contract. Ben Mee, I thought played well today. One of his better games for United. A lot more assured. But obviously when that happens, he ends up getting injured, goes off at half-time. Mark McGuinness comes on. I'm just not convinced by Mark McGuinness. I'm not wanting to do any of our players down. I'm just more coming to the real... My dad said to me today as we're walking away from the lane, he says, I'm not so much a positive, or the reason I can be a positive Blade is because I've settled for his lot. I've settled for where we are. He said, we were bang on about Tyrese Campbell this season because both myself and my dad said there's a strong chance Tyrese Campbell looks a shadow of himself this season. I think it's a purple patch that he went through with us last year. It's the best he's ever played, is the way that he played for Sheffield United last season. And we could get a very average Tyrese Campbell this season. And I think that's fair to say that it's almost come to light, because I think he didn't do himself any favours. Wasn't bad, was decent in spells, and he's a decent Championship footballer, as are a lot of these players. Mark McGuinness, decent Championship footballer. Jack Robinson is a decent Championship footballer, and I didn't like him as part of our squad who were trying to push on to the next level. Sam McCallum, one of our better players today. If their goalkeeper doesn't get man of the match, then Sam McCallum should be getting it, if not Danny Ings as an outside bet. But Sam McCallum, decent to good Championship player. Then you go into the middle, Sidney Peck, decent, good maybe, some would say. I like Sidney Peck. But he's not an outstanding Championship player, is he? Gyro has got a good pedigree and looked good in spells for us, as has Samaria when he's come in. But Gyro didn't do much today. I thought Tom Davies looked good when he came on. Thought Tom Davies looked a good Championship player. A good player at the level. We looked a lot more assured with him on the field. The problem with Tom Davies is you can't rely on him, as we all know. So they're not any better than good. Callum O'Hare might be the only one that's probably an above average at the way he's playing at the moment. And let's be right, he's playing at his peak that we've seen him. There may well be higher that he can go, and I hope so. But he's playing really well for us at the moment. And he's probably the one that you would say in our squad is the standout player at the moment. So you could maybe say he's a very good player for the level. Andre Brooks is not, pulling up any trees particularly. You'd say he's, again, decent. Maybe good. My dad thinks he's a League One player at best. And, when he's 24, 25 and we're not hoping for this potential to shine through, that might be where he ends up settling. You do see it from Brooks in flashes. And because he's one of our own, you give him more chances and more time. But, again, one of those to think about. Who else have we got? And then it were two up front, weren't it? Danny Ings, who I think is a class act, and I think it was his best game in a Sheffield United shirt for me today, and he played a full 90 minutes. I think he was very good today, but obviously he's in the twilight. He's 33, 34. We can't hang our hat on Danny Ings, who has also suffered with a lot of injury problems. Tyrese Campbell, not fit. Just not fit. In spells looked decent. In other spells looked like he couldn't be arsed. Could not be bothered. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating. I thought we played well today, as I say. So we are, my point in mentioning all that is we are a good, I'd say Cooper's a very good goalkeeper as well, to be honest. But we are a decent Championship side. But for me, that's disappointing from where we've been over the last few years. That should be more than us as a foundation. The performance today showed me that we will be fine in this league, and I genuinely believe that we'll stay up, and that might be naive. Some may find that disrespectful to the league, and it's not intended to be. But I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be all right. I don't think we'll be anywhere near the top of the league, because I don't think we're good enough. But it's not a case of we've had a bad start, and that's why we won't make the top. It's because we're not good enough. The league is very much of a muchness this year, but we are not better than enough teams to make even a play for it. And we're nowhere near in terms of the results or our headspace or anything like that. But I think in terms of the turnaround that we've all talked about, we're on the right track. We are on the right lines. I think the shoots of optimism from today, again, a little bit, you'd say toothless because it's 0-0, but I thought we created some decent chances today. And as I say, I think they're lucky to get out of here with a point. I think we deserve to win the game, if I'm honest. And that'd have been fair. I think a 1-0 would have probably been about right for Sheffield United today. But there's a lot of work still to do, and it's now an international break. So after this game, we don't play again for 15 days, and we come back and we all know who we play. And for those that don't, for any neutrals watching, we go to Hillsborough for the Steel City Derby on the 23rd, Sunday the 23rd of November. And to anybody outside in looking, you might say, oh, well, you look at Wednesday's squad on paper and you look at Sheffield United's squad on paper, and you shouldn't have a problem there. Well, we shouldn't, and I acknowledge that, and I think that's probably a fair point. And they've lost again today. But it's not about that. With these games, and I'm sure other local rivalries will be the same, form goes out the window, quality of individuals goes out the window. The only thing that maybe is a prevailing factor is the mentality of the players. And if Wednesday believe it's backs to the wall and they are completely up against it, they could easily do us. They could easily do us in 15 days' time. And we will come to that when we need to come to that. And we will try and get ourselves up for it, and we will try and get our heads in the right place. But we've got a point on the board today. And is it a good point? No, I would say it's probably not a good point. But I think I think we deserve to win, as I say. And we need points on the board now because we need to start pulling ourselves away from the danger area. So I'm starting to settle at the point where my dad said today, I've now accepted, this is Andy the Blade saying, I've now accepted that for the next 4 or 5 years, we might just be a middling championship side. Because that is naturally where he thinks we fall on a lot of occasions. But obviously under Chris Wilder, we've experienced highs that we could never imagine. We've flirted with becoming a Premier League team on a regular basis. He don't think we're we're not anywhere near it, are we? We're not anywhere near it. So yeah, I want to get your opinions tonight. We've got some people waiting backstage as always to try and get on. Oh, one of them's ducked out, so I need to jump in and see whether he's still in his spot that he was. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He's looking great as usual. You'll all know and love that one once I get to him. But I'm also sorting out other people that are waiting. So thank you to everyone that's been very patient with us. Right, let's get the first caller in then. I think he's in the hotel, but we'll have to wait and see whether that's the case. They can't see me. That's probably a good thing. Okay. You can't hear them, so that's and it's going to be annoying for you straight away because I'm talking to them and you can't hear me anyway. So let's bring him in. It's Jamie Dumpling. Is it, or is it the roof? Jamie Dumpling.
We can't see you.
Know, mate.
Yeah. We can't see you, by the way.
I'll sort that out, mate. How are you doing? And Sean, Shorty boy.
We can't see you.
I've heard you. I know. I'm sorting it.
We can't see you, Joe.
Oh,
we can barely hear you.
Can you see me, lads? Can you see me, lads? Lads, can you see me all right?
No, we can't see you.
Right, okay. I'm sorting that. Don't worry about it. Right, can you see me now?
There we go.
Okay, thank you. It's all right. Yeah. How are we feeling, lads? Where are you?
Oh, Hilton, we can barely see you and all. There we go.
Okay. All right, lads.
We can't hear you. My phone is stocking.
Okay. You can't hear me. That's not going to work if you can't hear me. But
just about.
Who's in the Hilton with you?
Yeah, we are. We've got Rich and Brett with us. Do you want to speak to them?
Whoever's there, mate. Let's have a chat. Brett, the positive blade. How's it going, pal?
Said no, man. Yeah. That were all right.
Rich Carrington.
All
All right, my boy. He's struggling as well. He's struggling.
It, but yeah. It could be better. I'll not say how long because I can barely hear you. But onwards and upwards of the blades.
Jamie, before you...
Jimmy,
Surely,
that was
boy.
brilliant, mate. That was brilliant, Paul.
What?
Campbell, not doing it. It's not doing it, mate, is it? Let's be right.
No, I agree, mate. Who called it? Who called it, Shawnee? Who called it? Campbell.
Great,
What is going? This is chaos. I'd have been in the Hilton with you.
Jimmy.
Hey, mate. I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant. I'm looking after the boys.
Good lad. Appreciate that. You're leading them down a dark path, I think.
We'll leave it with my phone shocking, but on the blades.
Jamie, before you
On the blades of Ramble.
Thank you, mate. Before you all go, I just have to show this while Jamie's on screen. Jamie Dumpling has made this for me, or had this made for me. And I am really, really
Number one blades channel, mate. Number one.
Behave yourself, you. Right, boys. It looks like you're having a great night, so I'm going to leave you to it. Up the blades.
In a bit.
I'll catch you soon. Cheers, boys. Unbelievable. Those boys. Right. So that frightens the life out of me, to be honest, because they are in the Hilton. I'd seen them all. All of those lads were in Triple Point before the game, and they were saying, "Jimmy, are you doing after party tonight?" And the rules of the after party, as we know, is that if we win a home game, we will go live from the Hilton. So they knew that I wouldn't end up being in the Hilton. That's fine. There's no cross wires there. But they'd obviously decided that they were going to go to the Hilton anyway and continue their own party. So that might be a bit of a snippet as to what will be to come on the after party, because I've had my microphone there ready to go and the laptop ready, as I say, today to get set up should we have won the game. So we'll see. Next time we'll be there. But thank you to Jamie Dumpling for this, as I say, because he gave me this today in Triple Point, and it's incredible. YouTube don't acknowledge your milestones until you get to, I think it's 100,000. Matt SB's got one. Matt SB, shout out to Matt SB, what a legend. But Jamie Dumpling, and I think it were a few Ramblers' ideas as well, who were saying that Mark Meldrew originally thought about doing it, but this is incredible, and it will go up proudly somewhere on my display. I might not be able to get it in shot, but I'm keen to get it up because it looks great. So thank you to Jamie Dumpling for his brilliant gift, and it's very touching actually to receive such a gift. I'm going to get in my next caller tonight, and then we're going to jump straight into the comments. But we've only had a couple waiting, so I'm not going to keep them long. I always keep them too long because I try and get through the comments. But it's Dave Morwood. Welcome to the stream, pal.
Hiya, mate. All right.
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I've been doing my housework.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
All right.
Look, I've got a clean sheet.
Hey! Wait, listen. What did you make of that? Because I think there's a couple of things that we can. I talked about it at the top, so I've said my bit. But what were your overall takes from today's game, pal?
I thought it was better.
Yeah, I did.
Better, but there needs to be improvement at the top end.
Yeah, fair.
You know, I don't know, was it Oni that missed that header late in the...
Yes, yeah, it might have been.
You know, I probably unsighted, but, you know, it should have at least got it on target.
Yeah,
But,
it's story of our game, weren't it, today?
Their goalkeeper saved them, I think.
Yeah, did he get man at match, David? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He must have done. He must have done.
My legal stream went off when he said at the end of the game, when the coaches were all saying, you know, well done, good game. And it went off, and I just stood and I thought, but before I could get my phone on it, it cut off.
Oh, right, okay.
The game. But it had got the 0-0 in the middle of the screen like that, and underneath it was Alan Nil.
Just 0-0. Should have had him on twice, shouldn't they? Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pleased.
Good.
With the display.
Good. Me too.
There's got to be improvement, so you know we need to get somebody scoring goals.
I agree. I thought Ings worked hard today. I thought Ings looked really good. I thought McCallum played well. I think there's some definite positives to come out of today's game.
Yeah, Og Benny's not one of them.
Yeah. What has happened to that boy? What has happened to him?
When he had that through ball and he beat his man,
I know.
I thought, yes, go on. And then he turned backwards.
And ran into a QPR player.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Like, what are you doing, man?
I know.
Please.
I know. I were back to having Andy the Blade swearing in my ear all for 90 minutes. So that were an interesting family stand.
I think my language was a bit colourful when he turned round. You know.
I know, mate. I know. So what do you think it's a good time for us to break before the Wednesday game, or what's your thoughts on that being next on the horizon?
I would have preferred it to be next Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
They've just done 3 games.
Yeah.
In a week with that squad that they've got.
Threadbare squad of theirs, isn't it?
They're going to be tired. There's going to be aches. They've got 2 weeks off now.
Yeah, I know. That's
you know, true. And I don't like saying it because it's them, but they're looking like a team that's fighting for their life, which they are, really.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They've lost today, haven't they? But they are the quality. The lack of quality in their squad means they will lose more than they win. But when you watch them play, at least they're throwing their bodies online and they're fighting for the shirt, aren't they? Which is obviously all that the fans will ask for. So it does concern a few of us Blades, doesn't it, that we're not firing on all cylinders going into that game?
Yeah. We need like a Rian Brewster back that can put the ball in, you know.
You're just a wind-up merchant, you aren't you? You are just a wind-up merchant. Right.
He'll not be banning me now.
No, never. He won't be allowed to do that, surely. So, with One coming on ahead of Cannon today, do you think Cannon is for the chopping block in January?
I positively think he's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm positive that he's gone, mate.
And that is a double-edged meaning.
The only way he can come back now is if in the next game he gets a hat-trick.
Yeah, next time he gets a sniff. Yeah.
And then he'll get a new contract the day after.
Probably.
For 8 years, you know. There you go.
Yeah, it's the way we do it, isn't it?
But
it's the way we do it.
You know, unless he was thinking like, you know, Oni can put himself about a bit more than Cannon can, he can unsettle them. But I was disappointed in Campbell because Danny Ings did more yards than he did today. I'm sure he did.
He definitely did, and I was delighted. And it sounds awful, this, but I was delighted that Campbell was the one to come off rather than Ings. I thought he might be bringing Ings off when One were warming up. So the fact that Campbell came off, it was the right decision for me. Not because I don't like Campbell or anything like that, but I think Ings was still going. It was a little bit like the last time out against Coventry when he brought Cannon off. You're thinking, well, he's got more legs than Campbell still. Campbell, so
you know, been puffing since the 40th minute.
Exactly right.
You know?
Exactly.
I was sort of like a bit confused because when it came up on my stream, it said McCallum's gone off for Burrows.
Yeah.
And then it said McCallum's gone off for One. So I thought we'd flipped an extra man on.
Those perfectly legal streams that sometimes have a few dodgy bits of info, isn't it? So
and I think they were QPR fans that were doing the commentary as well.
Oh, were it? Okay.
Yeah, because they kept saying, now's the time to play Sheffield United. This crowd are very quiet, you know.
Yeah.
You're not getting
it was quiet today. It was quiet at the Lane.
So, but I won't keep you long on it, but I was pleased with the performance today.
Yeah, me too.
And, you know,
Stepping right direction, isn't it? Stepping right direction.
Yeah. I was highly delighted at like 1:45 when the team came out and Cooper was in goal.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'd heard a sniff about that early doors, and you never quite know, particularly with an injury.
Yeah.
But he'd said, hadn't he, that Adam Davis will start tomorrow. So it was a clear red herring knowing that Cooper was still in the mix. So, yeah, love that.
Depends what he's done to his back. I mean, I've had a back injury, mate, and it's no... You know,
it's no fun, is it?
Every time I sneezed, it felt as though my spine was being ripped out.
Yeah, that's true. And I think he's been working with an injury for a while, to be honest. But I was saying to my dad, and it sounds awful, because I don't mean it in a personal way, but I'd rather have an 80% fit Michael Cooper than 100% fit Adam Davis, because I think the drop-off is that big. And that's just unfortunate that I feel that way, and I think a lot of Blades do too. Clearly, Chris Wilder does too, because if you're confident in your number 2 and your number 1's not 100%, then you play your number 2. But he's not. He's stuck with Cooper, trying to get him through the pain barrier to play.
And he's got 2 weeks off now, hasn't he?
He has. That's right. Yeah.
You know, so it's like I was a bit worried when it came on. I was like, yes, Cooper's in, and then I'm thinking, oh, what if he's not 100%? And
I know. But I thought he did well with everything that he needed to do today. I thought he did well, Cooper, today.
He looked a lot more assured for some reason.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if it was because he got, he got McGuinness in front of him.
I can't. You keep trying to hook me in with that. I'm not buying it yet. I'm not biting. You'll get me one day though, because he'll have had a bad game. And I'll just go off on one, and that'll be it. Then it'll be my new scapegoat.
It'll go viral, man.
Yeah, but new Robinson, won't it? Oh, that Jimmy Ramble's got a massive problem with McGuinness. He never does out good.
No,
anyway,
but he didn't do anything bad today.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm positive he didn't, man.
Top man, Dave. Thank you for joining us, pal. And I know. I'm not biting. I'll catch up with you soon, pal.
Catch you soon.
See you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Top man. Ta-da. Dave Morwood. What a top bloke. Nice one. Thank you, Dave, for starting us off tonight. Well, you didn't, obviously. Jamie Dumpling and his merry companions started us off tonight, but Dave Morwood, the only one to talk sense out of a lot of them. So, and who'd have thought that? Right, so into the comments then, see what you guys are saying. Mr. V starts us off tonight. Hi, Jimmy. It seems like more of the same, although Ings was lively and McCallum had a good game. But some of the corner kicks and backwards and sideways passing is driving me insane. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles. I agree with that. I think players like Siddy Peck today, and again, this is not a direct dig at Siddy because he's played a lot of games and I like him as a player. I think he's played better the last couple of games, but he's very safe in a lot of his moves. Andre Brooks, I thought, played it safe quite a bit today. Femi Sariki at times was playing it safe. We just need to be a little bit more confident in what we're doing and taking those extra risks that Wilder keeps talking about. So I'm with you, Mr. V. So for the things that we saw that were positive, there were also some things that we still need to massively improve on. Like and subscribe to the Best Blades content online. Thank you, my mate. Hope you're good. Joe says, it was just okay. We lacked bravery late on. No need to go side to side. Get it through the lines. Absolutely right, Joe. Tom Davis was class. I agree with that. I thought he looked really composed, really assured when he came on. Not everything came off for him, but he wanted the ball. I think if even my dad was saying the same, to be honest, if Tom Davis is fit, he has to start in this midfield. He has to start because he's just got a bit more of a presence about him than anybody else currently fit and available. I use the word fit very loosely. Ings' work rate was also very good. Yes, it was. Absent Campbell again. Don't get me started on Ogbenny. I think that's right. I think there were some real positives that are obvious, like Tom Davis, McCallum, Ings. Then I think there were players like Campbell and Ogbenny that you can criticise potentially. But again, it's not about dragging them down. It's just about having honest conversations about how you feel they did. The least dangerous Sheffield United side of the 21st century. Yeah, I agree, Matt. We are easy to play against. We are predictable. We don't penetrate teams. We haven't got a difference maker, really, have we? So it's disappointing more than anything else. It's disappointing. Stick says, no killer up front. How often do we say this? Nothing since Sharp departed us. Some signs of encouragement. It's already... and will continue to be a long season. Up the Blades and up the Ramble. Thank you, my mate. I think Ings is the closest thing we've got to Billy Sharp, and we've said that since he signed. I think that is, even the way he runs sometimes reminds me of Billy. And he's obviously younger than Bill, and he's played at a higher level than Bill. But, and in a 2, I think he looks better. I wouldn't have minded seeing Ings and Cannon together, I wouldn't have minded it. I didn't mind One coming on alongside Ings. So, yeah, we've not quite found that formula yet, have we? Helen says possibly should have won that, but at the end of the day, it's a clean sheet for Cooper and a point on the board. Better than a loss, plus we're now into double digits. I know. How the mighty have fallen that we are now celebrating being in double digits after 15 games of football. with still 3 points adrift in the relegation zone. It's a rapid, sharp decline for our football club, isn't it? And like I said at the top, it's the new reality for me as a Blade is accepting that we are just an average Championship side, and that's an awful thing. It might seem like a bit of a throwaway comment, but it defines who we are, I think, and that sort of sums us up at the moment. I don't think there's anything spectacular about us. I don't think there's anything in particular terrible about us. I think we've made individual errors, which I completely agree on. I think it's a valid thing to say that Wilder's been saying, look, these are individual mistakes. I think if you cut out the individual mistakes like we did today, then you can... We're fairly solid. And I say that, loosely, because there are times where teams can get at us because we're not brilliant defensively. We're a good Championship side, decent to good Championship side. And then going forward, we'll create chances, but we're not finishing them off because we've no killer instincts, like has been said already. So that it's an unfortunate reality for me that we are just a decent Championship side rather than a top Championship side like we were last season. It's just it seems like an okay thing to say, but it's not really. It's a sharp fall from where we've been. Bean says we were slightly better, but the quality going forward is awful. They were there for the taking, yes they were, and their keeper barely made a save. I disagree with that. Don't like this formation with the wide selections we have. There's no patterns of play. Our set pieces are absolutely awful. The amount of times we dinked it straight into the keeper's hands, I'm not confident at all playing them lot next. Scoring looks hard work. Scoring does look hard work, and I don't like playing with wide men either, if I'm honest. I don't think we have got the natural width in the side. I don't think we've got the wingers in the squad to play the formation that he wants us to play. Andre Brooks is a winger that we've created. We've made him into a winger, and I think a lot of us have been really pleased with his progress down the left. We played him on the right today because we've no confidence in Ogbene. We then played Callum O'Hare on the left, who's not a left winger. He's a 10. Why aren't you playing players in their natural position? Why don't we try that? Why do we have McGuinness, me and Tanganga as a back three? Why do we have Peck and Davis as the middle two? And Sariki and McCallum as the wing backs? Why do we have Callum O'Hare as the 10? And then two forwards up top? Why don't we do that? If you've gone off Ogbene, if you don't fancy him anymore, great. Now you don't have to play any wingers to accommodate. You don't have to play with wingers at all, because we were only trying to fudge in a left winger to accommodate the balance in the side for the right winger that you insist on playing. The best managers, and I think Chris Wilder is the best manager we could have. Let's not get this misconstrued in any way. I don't want anybody else managing our football club, and that is how I feel currently. I don't apologise for that. However, the best managers utilise the players at their disposal in their strongest position. They look at the collection of players they have and they think, how can I get the best out of this group? Not, how can I make them play the way I want to play? That's just my opinion again, but I think you look at what you've got and you play to accommodate the players that you have at your disposal. Wilder didn't pick these players, certainly not a lot of them. And I think there'll be huge changes in January. And don't get me wrong, over the international break, we will be doing a plan for Jan. We will be doing a plan for Jan, like we do every season. But we need huge change. It's going to be a big one, this, because we need huge changes to our squad. And I think we'll see it. I think we'll see a lot of change. But we don't have wingers. Why are we playing with wingers? We don't have them in the squad. We've got Ogbene, who we're now not keen on. But Wilder's finally decided isn't good enough. But a lot of us had already seen that before. Anyway, one of them things. I'll try and calm down a little bit. John says, thought our best player went off at half time, but overall a bit dull. So that's Ben Me that John appreciates. Yeah, I thought he had a good game today, one of his better games for United. And then typically, he goes off injured, doesn't he? John says, hi Jimmy, the voice. Not a bad performance today, but weak in the attacking third with only 61% passing rate. If Peck didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Cooper was much more confident today. Yeah, I thought Cooper did well today. Hopefully it does his confidence a fair bit of good, keeping a clean sheet and commanding his area a bit better like he was doing today. Ben says, passing the ball side to side on the halfway line, like with 3-0 up, is going to cost us. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. What's that off? You have to, and then I'll read the comments out. Now I've said that, I'll read the comments out later so you'll all know that I've referred to that and I won't remember what I've asked you. John says, Jimmy, I did an experiment today using a stopwatch. I timed how long the ball was in play. 27 minutes and 14 seconds. Oh my goodness me. 2 30-minute halves with a stop clock would give you more actual playing time. Absolutely, that doesn't surprise me at all. Fair play to you for the commitment to doing that, John. But that was just the second half. Okay, 27 minutes and 14 seconds. Yeah, it's a completely different way of revolutionising the game, isn't it? But anyway, Pete says, so pleased for 90 after 90 in the Blades Ramble. Men and women need to talk more about their feelings. Guess we're all feeling low right now. We need a lift, Jimmy, and some laughter. Up the Ramble, up the Blades. Like and subscribe. Well, I can't. Pete, thank you for that lovely comment, mate. I can't guarantee to entertain you because it's horses for courses, and I would never profess to be an entertainer or a comedian or anything like that. What I can do for you is give you a platform to come on and talk about your team. And if you're feeling low about it, come and talk to us about it, and we'll have a chat. And if you're feeling, angry about it, if you're feeling positive about it, if you feel like you can see shoots of improvement, which I did today. I saw that as well today. We can talk about anything you want, mate. That's what this whole channel is about. Obviously, we lean into mental health quite a bit. It's something I have suffered with significantly in the past. I know other people watching have too. There's always a place for you here. Whether you want to comment, whether you don't want to comment, whether you just want to sit in the background and enjoy us waffling on. But so far, 10,000 people, thanks to Jamie Dumpling for this, 10,000 people have subscribed to our channel. And I cannot thank you all enough that have. And if you haven't and you enjoy what we do, then please do. And we'll continue to try and grow. We certainly don't rest on our laurels. I'll keep trying new things. But everybody's included here. It's not I want people to feel comfortable coming on and saying exactly how they feel. Well said, Peak, says John. Peak says, where's Positive Keith when you need him? He's drinking Jaeger bombs with Jamie Dumpling, Rich Carrington, and Sean Weston in the Hilton, hoping for an after party that never came. I'm worried about playing the Trotters. They'll beat us. They're exactly where they should be. We are nowhere near where we should be. Feel sorry for Wilder. Yeah, I do slightly. I don't think he's got the best tools at his disposal, if I'm honest. No jokes about the players being tools. That wasn't my intention. James says, honestly, getting so fed up with this now. No effort until the 35th minute. Hoofing it long. No midfielders getting into the box. Manager clueless. Sack the lot of them. Wilder's lost his mojo and the plot. You won't be the only one that feels like this, James, to be honest. And again, this is another example of what Pete was saying, that people are mad and want to vent. And this is what we're here for. But I would argue, I can see I can see why the anger comes certainly towards the playing staff. I can see why some are mad at Wilder. I just think we haven't let the shackles off since Wilder's come back. We haven't. It's very cautious, and I think that is. I do think that's the players. I think he's not saying to Ogbenny, "Don't take your man on and cross the ball." I think he's probably. You saw today 2 or 3 times when he came on, Ogbenny, he took his man on and crossed the ball. It was clearly, it had been a direct instruction from him. But then obviously, we talked about it with Dave Morwood, he runs into a dead end next time he gets a chance to break for Sheffield United. And it's so frustrating watching a player that, a lot of us were pleased to see him join. Dave the Nose and a few others were really sceptical initially because why would Ipswich loan their third choice right winger to us if they thought he were any good? Turns out he's not. In my opinion, turns out he's not. Don't like saying that about one of our players. I think he'll be with us for the season. I have to say that as well. I don't think there's a chance that Ogbenny gets his loan terminated. I'd like to be wrong on that, but I don't think there is. And when we talk about the plan for Jan, which we will, in an upcoming stream over the next week or so, we have to think about what will happen. And what else is out there? If you're proposing that we do terminate Ogbenny's loan, for example, then who comes in instead? Who's better than Ogbenny that's available currently? It's a little bit like sacking a manager. What's the point in sacking a manager if there's no one better? It's like when we sacked Chris Wilder in the summer. The board knew what they wanted to do, obviously, but there's not like it's not like Sean Dyche is waiting in the wings to come in at Sheffield United, so Chris Wilder's under pressure. You know, there's all these sort of who else is available, and that'll be the conversation around January as well. So we'll wait and see. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Like Sneaky Squeak says, far too much long ball being played. I agree. Every team we play look better than we do up top. Shout out to Sam McCallum and Danny Ings for showing Ty how much effort is expected and needed. I agree with you, mate. James says, Ings, Cooper and McCallum, the positives. Peck, Brooks, Ogbeni, Campbell, Burrows, One, useless. Wilder either rips up this pathetic team or he rips up our love for this club apart. Diabolical football. I love... James is never adverse to giving a direct, straight bat of an opinion, and I love that he's willing to do that, and fair play to you, mate, and apologies that you're feeling that way, pal. I think it's a little bit harsh on Peck and Brooks. One didn't get that long. Burrows, I don't think you can overly criticise today, because again, he didn't get long either. Ogbeni and Campbell, I thought, were poor today. Maury says, hi Jimmy, hope you're well. Met a fellow Rambler, or should I say Ramblers, in SPJ. In SPJ. And his daughter, bless her. Nice one. SPJ. Super positive. Jack, of course. Yeah, Jack were in Triple Point before the game, joined us. But a lot of positives in that play. But just wish we could stick the ball in the net. Ings has been my player of the match as well as Sam McCallum. If I was Burrows, I'd be worried because he's a baller. Never thought I'd say that. It's his shirt now to lose, Sam McCallum. So, yeah, you think Sam McCallum's made it his own? I agree with you, mate. I agree with you. I think that's probably fair. Louis says, evening, pal. Sorry I can't make it on tonight. I'm at the fireworks. Can't hide my disappointment at the result. The performance was decent. Again, can't fault the effort and application. It was there to be had, though, and we needed the courage to go and win that game. Opportunity missed. Really frustrated. Oh, a founding father of the positive blades. We will still be okay, but I think we need to get our skates on, up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. Thank you, my mate. Hope you're good and hope you enjoy the fireworks tonight. Apologies, I'm a bit... Because I got back to Andy the Blades at 6 o'clock. Then Mrs. Ramble rang and her parents are here at the moment over from Spain. And it's my mother-in-law's birthday today. And here I am sat talking to you a lot instead of spending time with in-laws and the birthday. But they were like, Mrs. Ramble rang me at 6. She was like, oh, can you just pick up takeaway for us? Blah, 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 and pay for it, obviously. Can you pick up the takeaway? We've ordered a takeaway. We've ordered you this, and another. So we've had a curry from Abdul's. Absolutely beautiful it was. But I had to throw it down my neck, and I've not had enough to drink. So I've just come on. And I know you all feel really sorry for me, but I came on just bang on time. And I'm absolutely like, right claggy now. So thank you for all the Raw Dog comments that everybody sent me after the last stream, by the way. And obviously, yes, I did know what the alternative meaning was, but it's a family channel. So my 9-year-old daughter did not know that was the alternative meaning. But yeah, we'll see if we can get some merch out because, you know, we like that, aren't we? Really nothing wrong at all with that today, says Matt. Just could not score and their keeper had a good game. We move on every point is good at the minute for us. And yet, Ogbeni, my God, get rid. Up the blades, up the ramble. The next game is bigger. Yeah, I can't... I don't think a point's neither in or there for us at the minute. And QPR at home have lost 3 on bounce. It's disappointing not to beat them. And that's with all due respect to QPR. They'll have thought exactly the same coming into Bramall Lane today because we'd lost 3 on spin going into today. So it were just as much an opportunity for them to get back on track as it was us. But the way the game panned out, I thought we were the better side. And I think we're right to be disappointed not coming away with all 3 points. We don't attack quick enough, says John. Other teams do and get success. We give opposition players time to get in position. Too much back and side passes, for example. City back Peck. Thought Ings played well. I agree. We're so slow in the build-up and very predictable in what we're doing. So, yeah, it's frustrating. I agree with you, John. Oh, part 4. I didn't even know we had a part 3 more, he says. We need to cut out silly errors. Excuse me. That frustrates me. We are victims of our downfall the last few years. Surely it can turn around. Can it? It can. He says, up the blades, up all the rambles, up the positive blades. up the HPM more something Maury the Cop Blade. Up the half positive Maury the Cop Blade. Thank you, mate. Yeah, cheers. Thank you for clarifying that. Matt says, just like to say as well, Ings showed Campbell up today. Ings running after everything, non-stop running. That's how you do it, Campbell. Yeah, his effort levels were off the charts, weren't they? My dad's saying, why has Ings not been starting for us? If those are his energy levels, why is he only been getting the odd few minutes here and there if that's what he's got in the tank? Because that's what we've needed, isn't it? That sort of press. I thought he did really well today, Danny Ings. Evening, Jimmy and all, says Peak. Thoughts on the 4-2-2-2 formation? Is it the way forward? 2 weeks of non-stop how we beat the Pigs tactically, physically and clinically. I thought it was more of a 4-4-2, Peak. With these formations and the way football is nowadays, you can make the formations almost look however you want, I think. You could, and things like Football Manager will tell you this as well. So the 4-2-2-2 was essentially a back four, which is traditional and we all expect, a deep 2 centre midfielders, then 2 wider players, weren't it? That sometimes came in slightly, which would obviously lean more towards the extra row of 2. But I don't think it was really. I don't think it was. I think it was 4-4-2 with high wingers that sometimes cut inside. And I don't think it particularly suits us, Peak, if I'm honest, as I've said already, because Andre Brooks, okay on the right, okay at best. I think he's better on the left. But we can't put him on the left because they don't like Callum O'Hare on the right. They do like Callum O'Hare on the left, though, even though he's a 10. I'd just play him in the natural positions. We've been screaming, a lot of us have been screaming for 2 up top for so long. We've seen it last 2 games, and yes, we didn't score today, but Bayek did we look a lot more dangerous in that final third. In terms of we were in there a lot more, we were creating a lot more, we were higher up the field because of the 2 up top. It worked in a lot of respects today. Wouldn't have taken a lot for us to nick a 1-0 today, and we're all very, very happy. So, yeah, I like the 2 up top. That's something that a lot of us campaigned for. I just hope he tries with the 3-4-1-2. I'm not sure he will, if I'm honest. Kev says, hi, Jimmy. It would send back Ogbenny for Dembele every day of the week. And how good was Jimmy Dunn? Up the Blades, up the Ramble. I have to say, I thought Jimmy Dunn was pretty average today. I like him as a player. I've not changed my mind on him. I would certainly take him at Bramall Lane. But I didn't think he was brilliant. He played centre-half for them today, didn't he? But Karamoko Dembele, however you pronounce his name, and I apologise for that. But I thought it was Sariki Dembele. I think he's playing for Oxford nowadays. But they look very similar in stature. But yeah, Dembele for QPR today looked really good. Really handy. They've got a few good players, to be honest. They clearly aren't putting it all together at the moment, but they've got a few good players. I thought Burrell looked good up front. Chair is always a problem. I would be having a look at Elias Chair if Gus goes. I think he's a Gus light, if you like. I think it's a straightforward move for us, that sort of thing. I don't think he's anywhere near the level, but I don't think he's miles away. Jack says, missed opportunities in my opinion. Welcome back, Femi. McCallum has taken his shirt and made it his. Ings is a dinosaur outrunning Campbell. We should be beating poor QPR definitely in the second half. Wrapped Davis in bubble wrap. Wrap him up. I hope you mean wrap him up in bubble wrap. Look at the threats. We look a threat at set pieces but couldn't shoot when we got in the box. Or Boz. Daughter fell asleep. Nice meeting everyone again. Well, it shows she felt comfortable at Bramall Lane. Have I got a drink here? Oh, you beauty! Little secret stash of Coke. What? Note to self. Note to any Blades, really. If you've got your own little space in the house or the garage or wherever it is, and you buy a multi-pack, and you've got kids or whatever, or grandkids, you buy a multi-pack of stuff, siphon off your own little stash, because you never know when you'll need it. And now, I do, so... Cheers. I'm on mute before I burp. No. Wow. That is better, though. We've got a second win now. Thank you. Alex the Blade. Hi, Jimmy. Great to meet you and Andy the Blade today. Up the Ramble. Disappointed not to win, but loads of positives from that second half. Need to make sure we're not cut adrift before Jan. We can stay up. McCallum outstanding. O'Hare great. Ings improved. Some good saves from Cooper. Davis class when he came on. On we go. All very valid points, I think, Alex. And it was great to meet you too, pal. Really, really good. Thank you for coming up and introducing yourself to me and the channel MVP, who we're going to have on next week, by the way, for a bit of talking sense. I got a verbal agreement from him. Justin says, it was better than previous games, but it's a low bar. It is, mate. It is. I agree with that. Still very disappointing and quite boring. I know Wilder is scratching around for ideas, but 4-4-2 isn't the way. Lack of quality is outstanding. Ings and McCallum great again. O'Hare's wasted out wide. Ogbenny with a dreadful cameo. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, my mate. Hope you're good. Dino says, it was better, and if it keeps getting better, we'll get there. Ings the new Billy Sharp. Like that, me and you, Dino. Gyro looks a player. I thought he was quiet today, Gyro, in all honesty. But I do like him as a player. McCallum gets better by the game. Ogbenny is dreadful. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Michael says, it's a point, but many seem to move further up the table today from the bottom three. First draw of the season, but needed to be 3 points today. Up the Blades, up the Ramble from a Wrexham fan. Thank you, Michael. I agree with you. I think we needed 3 today. Sheila says Manning's out at Norwich. Of course he is, because it's not long till we play him, is it? But he's been a disaster there. Absolute disaster. Femi Sariki was quite good, says Maury. It's turning. Hamer back and Ollie for the next game. Coops cleaning. I'm not sure Blaster will definitely be back. We'll have to wait and see. With 3 points behind Oxford. Interesting. Jack says, we have to start turning it around and beating those around us. Next game needs to be a win. And a miracle needs to happen in Jan. The Vloggers says, boring game today. Sariki starts permanent. Yeah, I'd like to say so. Chris says, don't say we are back. I certainly won't be saying that, mate. Don't you worry about that. David Vinter says, thought Striking and Brooks worked well today. Striking and Brooks. I know it's a typo, but I'm trying to work out who you might mean. I don't know. Sorry, mate. McCallum also. Google. Also good. Ings didn't stop all game. Much better, but should have taken all 3 points. Up the Blades. Up all the Rambles. David Vinter. Thinking about you, pal. Hope you're good. Tom says, evening, Jim. Better performance, but poor QPR side in all honesty. Need massive improvement for the next game at Hillsborough. Shout out to Sam McCallum. Absolutely fantastic again. Yeri what, Tom? I agree with you, pal. Still need to go to triple point this season. Maury, you do. You do, my mate. Matt says, poor final choices. Killed us. Ogbenny needs to go back along with the other loans, and Campbell is awful. Why not Cannon and Ings? Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Striker, you meant. Yeah, Striker and Brooks. Oh, Sariki, I assume that is. Sariki and Brooks. Not Streaky. Wow. I haven't seen one of them for a while. Mark Meldrew says, I don't think we score if we carried on till... We'd score if we carried on until Christmas. No quality in the final third. Never felt like we'd win the game. Spent more of the second half checking bets. 2 bad sides. 0-0 isn't a good result. I agree. I agree with that as well. In terms of the last bit. I think we'd have scored eventually. But it shouldn't be, you know, if we keep going and we keep going and we keep going, we might score. It's not. That's not the bar, is it? That's not what the bar should be. Rice says, best I've seen us play this season. Interesting. It's not that it's not that it's been a high bar. A lot of huff and puff without much quality. Ogbenny is dire. There's not a lot of love for Ogbenny in the comments tonight, and I get it. I get it. I'm pretty much there with you, to be honest. Julie says, lost my bank card in the fan zone. If anybody's found it, better than losing the match, I suppose. Julie Willis. This is an announcement for the bank card of Julie Willis. If anybody has seen it, please return it to Bramall Lane ticket office, please. It's probably going to be best bet, isn't it? So, yeah, if anybody can help Julie out with a lost bank card, that would very much be appreciated. Marco says, in our position, we need to start winning. Only positive is we didn't concede in the 46th minute. Bryce says, evening, Jimmy, disappointed, but better performance. Ings was the best player. Up the Blades. Yeah, I thought he played well today. We were the better of 2 poor sides. I think that is probably the best 5-word summary. But look, I'm a rambler. I can say that in 300 words, GT, but you are absolutely bang on with this comment, and that is the most succinct way of saying it. We were the better of two poor sides. That's it. In a nutshell. First half, I thought our defence looked shaky, says Jack. Luke says, I thought we were good today. Mark Meldrew says, I don't even think we were average if we were mid-table. We're so poor. Oh, if we were, we'd be mid-table. We're so poor. No, I think the start's killed us, mate. But I don't think even if we started on 0 now, all teams, I think we're a mid-table side. I think that's where we are, unfortunately. Maury says, we aren't a top-end championship side. We're just above average side. I don't even think we're above average, Maury. I wish we were. I don't think we are. Cooler King says, evening, Jimmy. Only saw the first half because, to be honest, I dropped. Which tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? I was glad Wilder had got them to cut out the defensive howlers. A big step forward, but where are the goals going to come from? Great question, mate. I think we'll make changes in January, but it's a long way off. Still a long way off. Luke says, I thought we were good today, but thought the ref was brilliant. If only we could have him every week. Well said, Luke, and I love it when people point this out, because it's very easy to criticise the refs. And this is a subject near and dear to our heart, because Gaz Dunn, the man in black, is one of our own. But really easy to criticise refs when they make a decision that goes against your team, whether it be a right decision, a wrong decision, or a controversial decision. I agree with you, Luke. I thought the ref was really good today. And my dad said the same. And I think somebody on Football 11 said this. Oh, no, apologies. Someone on Football 11 came and complained about their ref for a different game. And we were both saying, ours were decent today. I thought it was good. I thought it tried to let the play go on. He gave the first 8-second corner that I've seen given this season at Bramall Lane. So, yeah, I thought he did well. 100% agree with you, Jimmy. We have an average team. That's why I know there'll be a big turnover in January and at the end of the season. I agree. I think they'll just allow Wilder to do his thing. And, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be a quick fix, but I think that's what will happen. Brand says, evening, Jim. It was a battling performance, but they were there for the taking today. I agree. Ings has to score that header in the first half. Pecky's so poor, just lumps the ball in the air and gives it away. Jimmy Dunn was the best player for them by a mile, won absolutely everything at the back. I thought it was just easy for him, though. I didn't think he was doing anything outstanding, if I'm honest. Again, I really like him as a player, so I'm not going to push back on it too much. It's almost like there's a reason CW wanted him for nothing in the summer. Nah, we'll have Bindon instead. But yeah, saying that it was a battling performance, but they were there for the taking. That is my overall feel of the game. You can be pleased that there were some small improvements, but overall, it's another disappointment, isn't it? Because it's another missed opportunity. And I think, as I say, my conclusion from this game, personally, is we're just an okay championship team. Which means we will be okay, which for some of us, that'll probably be a relief, if I'm right. And for others, it'll be how far we've fallen in a short space of time. I heard Tanganga was screaming at someone today, says Maury. Don't know. Won't surprise me. A bit most active I've seen him. Most animated I've seen him, because he looks half asleep half at time. And I don't mean when he's playing, because he still moves around the pitch really well. But he's got a bit of a lackadaisical look about him, just a chilled vibe, which is fine as long as you do the business, and he does. 99% of the time he does. So I just don't ever drop below the level we need you to be, Jaffet, because you'll get criticised, and that'll be a part of it. Sam says, didn't manage to see the game, Jim. What did Ings have to show today? Any good? Yes, I think the most impressive thing about Danny Ings was he never stopped running. It was very O'Hare-like, I suppose, in his engine, which is obviously it's minimum expected from players, but we don't see it often enough. Also, he's an older player than Callum O'Hare. He's not known to be in as good physical shape. So the fact that he could go for so long and be as energetic as he was a real plus. I also think he was really neat and tidy in tight spaces. I think he was making some clever runs off the ball that dragged defenders. I'm not sure everybody saw, but me and my dad were like, "Oh, that's clever, because that's diverting this." Or he's seen and anticipated a QPR back pass, and he's been onto it, and he's got close to their keeper sometimes. There was, as Brand mentioned, there was a header where I think it was Tyrese Campbell. I can't remember who it was that crossed it for him, but he was on the 6-yard line, and because he'd slightly mistimed his run, he didn't quite have the power behind his header. He tried to half throw himself towards it, but he'd have been in front of it if he'd have given it full force. So it was just a mistimed thing, really. Brand's right. He hit the target, and it was a great save from the keeper to push it over the bar, but you've got to score from there, really. So he'll be disappointed with that one. But I thought, overall, Danny Ings did really well today. Cody says we struggled in the first half. Better in the second, but Danny Ings was class as well as Sam McCallum. We are so average, says Free Shots. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Better rather take a point than losing, says James. Look at getting out of the bottom 3 before we talk about the playoffs, mate. James, I love you, mate. Platinum Rambler, you know that. We cannot be talking about the playoffs. We can't. We can't. You're absolutely right in terms of the mentality that you're taking from it. Let's not talk about anything else other than the bottom 3 and getting away from it. Certainly that's the priority. I would be shocked. I would be shocked if we're anywhere near the playoffs, personally. Oh no, I'm going to burp again. That's not good, is it? My apologies. Right, the blunt Yorkshireman said, well said, Jimmy. We're a poor championship side at the moment. Average with Hamer and Blaster playing. Club and some supporters have kidded themselves that we are top end. Thank you, mate, for agreeing, first and foremost. You don't have to. That's not a prerequisite. I don't think we're poor. I think we are average. And I think maybe with Blaster and Hamer back in, we can push 2 above average. But Hamer hasn't played well this season. But that side today missed Gus Hamer. We missed Gus Hamer today. So to kid ourselves that we've been playing well without him, which we have at times, we're not a better side without Gus. And that'll be part of our new show that we might be discussing Gus Hamer in one of the touchy subjects that we're going to discuss over the international break. Because some might advocate selling him. And if we haven't got any money to spend, then you might think we have to sell him to reinvigorate the squad. But I think we're potentially nudging above average squad with those 2 playing well in the side, Blaster and Hamer. In terms of the supporters kidding themselves that we're top end, I think you're allowed to feel that when we went so well last year. It's understandable why people would predict us to be top end of the league this year because of how we went last year. So I don't think it's kidding yourselves. I think it's more shocked that we haven't been at that end and we're at the wrong end. And now we have to realise that this is where we are and we've got to adapt to being there, haven't we? That's more of the thing, isn't it? It's the new norm for us, unfortunately. Neil says, why are we starting the conversation talking about the playoffs? Yeah, I agree with you. We're now one of the favourites for relegation. That's where we start from. I agree, Neil. I agree with you, pal. Andrew says it's worrying for Swilsborough. They're playing for the shirt, not the paycheck. We aren't. Interesting. Wrap Tom Davis in a blanket. That boy can play. Oh, the boy can play. Andrea Brooks is nowhere near the levels Raksaki was, says Maury. Brooks needs to be on loan, not out on the right wing. Dave Hathaway says, we are so powder puff for a Sheffield United side. Yeah, we're soft, aren't we? Soft underbelly. Core, Jimmy, I think you need to start calling you Victor Smith. Oh, no. Surely not, Helen. You don't think I'm being mardy, dear? I don't think I am. I think I'm being realistic. And I don't like to be. I don't think it's negative. I think it's just honest. I think, we've got... A lot of people will be peeved today that we've not won. And yeah, I think we should have won today. But, anyway. Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am, to be fair. Just being honest. Better today, says Wayne. Enjoyed the match, but 3 points was desperately needed. Ings showed much more today. Their keeper kept him in it. Wayne, that's exactly where I am, pal. Good to see you again today, mate. We need Jimmy Dunning, says Maury. Joe says positives to take from today, but still not good enough. Don't find space. Clumsy pass. There is a lot of clumsy passing, Joe. I agree with you, mate. Not quick enough. I've come to terms with being a bottom half side this season. Completely agree with Andy. To be honest, Brooks, inconsistency means he's League One level. Blaster being so good, I think he made us think other young lads were as good. They aren't. It's a really high bar to hold them to the Arblaster scale, isn't it? Because he's come in and done so well. Yeah, and you may be right. Maybe you're right. We expected too much from some of the younger lads. Gaz says, didn't watch the matches travelling south, but from what I've heard, we deserve to win and kept a clean sheet. Mid-table at best this season, but then we go again next year. Love that, Gaz. Love that, top man. Alessandro says, wasting the summer and the first 6 games with Sellers set us down a costly path, thus making this season such a slog. Hopefully we win in the Steel City Derby. It kick-starts the season. But that will be the mentality that we go into it with. That will be the way we are hoping to do, and that is what we will be building everything around. And it's dangerous. It's a dangerous way to build up to the game. Hopefully I can get a Steel City Showdown in there with the Wednesday Till I Die channel as well. That'll be over on Ramble FC. But we'll build up to that. We'll build up to that game as and when it's coming round. Jack says, we shouldn't be in this position at all with how many times we've been in the Prem. And for the second season parachute team, we've wasted the money. We haven't invested in the first team correctly, says James, in the past 5 years. And time has caught up. We've had far too many loans than permanent players. This is when I were obviously talking to the lads. A few lagers, lads, says Gaz. Jamie Dumpling. Remember my first beer too. Mark says that's one of the worst calls I've seen on here from Jamie. Pointed at the roof more than himself. Is this friends reunited? Yeah, Jimmy, your face. Looking at these lager louts. Oh, yeah. That's Jamie Band from phoning again. Yep, absolutely right. That call with Jamie Dumpling is like when your parents discover FaceTime for the first time, just showing forehead and ceiling. Oh, can you hear us? Hi, lovely to see you. Can you hear me? It's 100% down to the midfield to create chances for the strikers, and all of them, Bart O'Hare, is underperforming or isn't good enough. Brooks, Peck, Ogbenny, absolute dross, want binning off. My dad looked at Sidney Peck today, stepping up for a corner, and taking with a pinch of salt, as I know a lot of us do. I love my dad's opinions on stuff, but sometimes when he gets a bee in his bonnet, he just takes it too far. It was like, I know why he wears 42, by the way, Jim. I know why he wears it. Why does he wear it? Because he's the 42nd best midfielder in Championship. Why? Why are you saying that? He's our player. Why are you saying that? Do you think we go to S6 as underdogs? No, I think we go as the slightly better of two very poor teams at the moment, unfortunately. I'd seriously use Campbell as an impact sub, says Maury. Yeah, me too. I suggested that myself. Whereabouts do you sit, Jimmy? Says Free Shots. We're in John Street, mate. We're in John Street. We are now right of halfway and about halfway up. So we've moved from last season where we were just left at halfway and towards the front. Jake says needed to get a win from that and we had the better chances. Still don't understand sacrificing our best player to fit in others. We have a group for a back three, and to have O'Hare wide instead of a 10, I don't know. Me neither, Jake. Me neither. Daz says January can't come soon enough. In Wilder we trust. You still have to Bobby Thomas. Lol. Play up Sky Blues. Lowy's jumping in here quite a bit since Cov have been above us in table. I didn't see you much when you were pretty rubbish last year. And certainly even when you picked up miles behind us. Where were you then, Lowy? Where were you then, pal? You're going well this season. I've note against Cov. I quite like Coventry. I think it's a breath of fresh air that some non-parachute teams are doing the business and taking ourselves out of the equation, obviously. But you don't have to come on chucking your insults around. Methven says, Gus and Blaster back for the Steel City Derby. Hopefully they can spark some creativity in the middle. I'm not convinced Blaster plays. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. He might get on at some stage. But Gus being back is a huge plus. Bald and brilliant, that's Ali. Says, I said to my mates before the game that we are 12th to 14th championship team, and nothing I've seen today changes my mind on that. Better at the back, ponderous in midfield. Ponderous. Yes, we are. Great word for the midfield. Toothless up front. Yeah. What does Ogbenny bring to this team? I'm struggling to see anything from him again. The beauty about... do you know, it reminds me of my dad, really. Not that Lee is my dad, but in a similar way to my dad. Once he's very level-headed, very knowledgeable about the game, Lee. I love what he adds to the Ramble, both in his comments, and he obviously does some presenting with us now on Ramble FC. Calls in, has done shows on the Blades Ramble as well. Really love what he brings, value his opinion. He also, once he gets a bee in his bonnet about a player, cannot check it. Cannot check it. And Ogbenny now is done for him. Pretty much like, well, my dad's on the same lines with Ogbenny. My dad's been on the same lines with Tom Cannon. We've seen historically my dad do it with McBurney and Brewster. So, yeah, peas in a pod maybe. They're both bald and brilliant anyway. Do the plan for Jan, then email it to the new owners to give them a head start. Also, there's no way Arblaster plays in the derby. The Office, correct. And now remember, this is going to cost you. This is going to cost you. Thank you, James. The Brentmeister General, says Matt. Yes, it was the Brentmeister General. Jack says, good managers turn this around by switching it up for this game. I saw a lot of the same patterns of play with just different players. Jim says, I'll never stop banging the Samari drum. He needs to play. Samari drum. Very unlucky not to win, says Paul. I thought the same. Effort can't fault, says Mark Meldrew. Quality I can. Not good enough. Effort should be guaranteed. Agree with that. Agree with that. And that's a concern, isn't it? And that's the realisation I think we've come to, or I've certainly come to. It's not the effort that's the problem. It's the quality. And that's a huge drop-off from where we've been as a club. Because we've had the quality and the effort levels under Wilder. It's just... Jimmy says, I think we need to cool on the Jan window other than direct loan swaps in and out. We've got 20 million to balance under PSR. If Hamer is our golden goose, I can see him going in January. So can I. Up the Blades, up the 10k Ramble. Thank you, mate. Good old Jamie Dumpling. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Still don't know which way to tilt stuff, do I? Been doing it for 3 years now. Still haven't got a clue. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Do a stream and try and get in as many quotes from The Office as possible, but don't tell us when. Oh, we do stuff like that on Ramble FC when we do watch-alongs of other clubs. Because we've had what... Please watch. I'm not trying to discourage people from watching, but if the game's not all that, then we just talk about rubbish. Like in the comment section, we've had what's best thing to have on a Sunday dinner, what's your Christmas dinner, what's your favourite Haribo, what's your this, what's your that. Office quotes, like sneaking in office quotes without people noticing. I think that's a good one. That's a good one. Rossi says, go and get that young lad from Bolton. Wilder, yes, he's Dewberry. Omar, something Dewberry, isn't it? Yes. Cozier Dewberry, I think it is. Supposed to be keen on him. Supposed to be keen. He's on loan from Brighton, though. Sean says, Ings is my man of the match. Their goalkeeper saved their skins big time. I agree with that, too. We might time this about right. Rich says, evening, Jimmy. It's damage limitation now. You need a run, but it's not out of the question. If we carry on with our form, Connor will be back in the group next year, pal. Connor will be back in the group next year, pal. Oh, are you Leeds, Rich? Damage limitation now. You need a run. So I suppose you're not a Blade. Connor will be back in the group next year, but Connor from One Leeds. Connor, yeah, I think Leeds will be a championship side next year, and I think we will be. And Callum Fowler's convinced that Barnsley will be. So there may be something to do there, wouldn't you say? Jack says, why are we putting O'Hare on the left and then moving Brooks on the right? No idea. We go again, Jimmy, mate, says Paul. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. 4-4-2 is the best way to play. At least we look more of a goal threat. Jimmy Pal, up the Blades, up the... I'm not convinced it is the best way to play. I think it's better with two up top. And we've done okay in the last two... Well, in parts of the last two games, haven't we? Obviously, Cov ended up steamrolling us in the second half, but I still think there's work to do, Paul, to be honest, mate. Love the positivity, though. Samari needs to play at the Stye. We need to win the midfield battle. It could well be the game Wilder and the team need to find some fight. Martin says, evening, Jim. Came out of the lane today with a little smile on my face. Loads to be done, but looked a lot better. Keep Davies fit and we have a chance. Davo's a good player. If he was anything like regularly fit and available, you'd be comfortable giving him armband, wouldn't you? I certainly would. In terms of it, I think he's got a bit of a presence about him. Chris says to drop him, but he won't. Love Wilder, but he's starting to annoy me with his stubborn ways. And I know you won't like that, but it's true. Listen, please don't feel like you can't criticise Chris Wilder on here. I've done it myself, believe it or not. It doesn't change how I feel about him being the manager. I love the fact that he's our manager. I think that there is no better man to lead us than Chris Wilder. But of course, he shares blame in what happens with the side. Of course, he's at fault in certain situations. He will look back on decisions he made even today, game by game, and he'll think, "Shuffing hell, why didn't I do this? Or why did I start with him? Or why did I not bring him on? Why did I bring Benny on?" You know, there'll be all these sort of things going around in his mind. So don't worry about it. It's not something that I won't like. I like the fact that you're comfortable giving an opinion that you think I don't agree with. The Wilder haters make me laugh. All his good work last season was destroyed by the board in the summer. It's going to take time. I agree with that too, Michael. I agree with that too. I think he'll get it right. It's great when Blaster and Hamer are back, Jimmy Buddy, or it will be. In Tufty, we trust he's far better than the poor Sayers ball who got us into this mess. Tufty helps us believe again. Yeah, absolutely. Home Funk says, Big up Sam McCallum, sorry. Not Big Sam McCallum, he's hardly big, is he? Big up Sam McCallum, get Brooks out for Burrows on the right. Burrows on the right. Brooks, my word, what does he do? Evening all, I'm no Wilder fan, but today was better. This team will be miles better with Hamer, Davis and Blaster back. Matlock Blade says, evening all, thought it felt nervy both on the pitch and in the stands. The stands definitely did. It was just quiet. I didn't feel the atmosphere was nervous. But overall, it was a very quiet crowd today. It was nice to see Coops back and Ings get a full game. I agree. He gave it everything. The full 90 Tinies to take heed of this. Sam was great again. Me was better as well. And overall, I thought we were a bit unlucky not to come away with 3. Bring on the pigs, up the blades, up the ramble. Love that, mate. Love that, Matlock Blade. Jack says she woke up halfway through second half and started cheering. She'll be Blade one way or another. She even met Hamza in Triple Point. Hamza in Triple Point? Doing well on her first visit. Was Hamza in Triple Point? Why did we not know this? What did you think of Rangers? Do you know what, Rich? I think you've got some really good players. And I think in spurts, you looked good. But it don't feel like you're putting the pieces together. Chair's a great player. I thought Dembele looked really good today. Burrell is a huge handful up front. I think him and Kone need to be paired up front. And maybe go Sariki and Chair as your wide men. Jimmy Dunn we all really like. And we're probably going to try and pinch him off you again in the future. But I think there's some real good players there. So if you can get... I'm not sure whether this manager will get it right. He may do. But there's a nucleus of a decent side there. I think, personally, you want to try somebody like Reece Norrington-Davis at left back, that might work for you. GT says, please don't expect too much from Blaster. Yes, that's right. He's been out with a very bad injury, and it'll take a lot of short spells of game time before he'll be back to his best. Agree. Tufts needs to get a grip, says Chris, and I love him, but he's too stubborn. Sean says, if we make too many changes in January, getting the team to gel could set us back even more. It's a good point. Ray says, I have to be happy with a point, but we need wins. 10 points is not very good. In fact, it's pathetic. Hopefully we get a win at Swillsborough. Up the blades, up all the rambles, like and subscribe. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, mate. At least Chris Wilder cares. He's a fan. Strong rumours the owners want out. Anyone else heard anything? We've heard that they're touting the club around a little bit. Yeah, there's certainly rumours that are doing the rounds. I don't know anything for sure. Wouldn't shock anybody, would it? I'm sure, at this stage, after how poorly it's gone for everybody involved. Tim says, Chris Wilder has his work cut out keeping this squad motivated, and it'll be achievement if he keeps us up. I think he'll keep us up. Well, that's very clippable, and that's very dangerous for me to say live on the... Can you not see I'm live on the internet? It's very dangerous to say live on the internet, but and it will be clipped up if we end up getting relegated, obviously. But I'm confident that we've got enough about this squad. It's a championship squad, isn't it? I think we need to trim the numbers. I think we need to improve in certain areas. I think we need to play to formations that suit the players. There's enough about this squad to get us out of this problem, in my opinion. Brand says, best performance of the season so far for me today. Best ref performance, apologies. Would also be happy if I never saw Benny in a United shirt again after that today. Never been a footballer. Send the loans back, says Paul. They're not for us. Will says, really struggling to get any optimism going for this season. The season has been destroyed by shocking decisions before a ball was kicked, and every week it becomes more obvious. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, to stay motivated. I think the only things we can grab onto is things like today, where there's shoots of optimism. I think we have to recalibrate what we think of not only the season, because I think a lot of us have come to that conclusion that the season will peter out and not really, not be exciting at the end. Hopefully we want at this stage now, don't we? We hope to have mid-table obscurity is a goal of ours, but we have to sort of recalibrate where we are as a club, and then the no parachutes will mean next season that we have to again pull more money in as a club and sell assets and then probably not replace them with proven assets. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do at the club to get it right. So Will's right. It's tough to get any optimism or enthusiasm going for the season, but we do see little improvements here and there in what we're doing. So it's for a team that we saw at the beginning of the season that was so devoid of ideas and confidence and belief. It's different now. It's different now, and we know that there's a tangible difference in the side, and we can see at least some of the DNA coming back of the football club. That's what I feel anyway. Where do United get our centre forwards from? eBay. Shocking, says Paul. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. Rich says, don't drink fizzy drinks after a curry, mate. I know, so it's the only thing I've got available. You'll feel terrible later. Water, or get Mrs. Ramble to fetch some ice in a glass. Mate, it's a mother's birthday. I am supposed to be in there celebrating with them and singing happy birthday and lighting the cake and stuff. I'm in here. If I text her and say, hey, love, just break off from that, please. I know I'm in doghouse because I've come in here to talk about football for an hour and a half. But just bring us a glass of water. Make sure you get a bit of ice in it as well. Rich, you need to pick your battles. And if I have to have a bit of indigestion for supping on some Coca-Cola after me curry, then jug. Oh my word, I am going to feel bad though, mate. You're right. Better than last Saturday. Couldn't be worse, mind. Couldn't be worse. Could be worse. Oh, couldn't be worse than last Saturday. Yeah, of course. I don't want to see Campbell for a while starting. I think Ings and Cannon would make a good pairing, says Home Funk. Cannon looked good in midweek, bombed out. How can a striker get fit? Sharp. Oh, do you mean like match fit? I agree with you, pal. I think it was a strange one on Cannon today. Don't know why he's off the radar all of a sudden after probably his best performance of the season. A really strange one not to come on at all. Yeah, interesting. Cody says, if we want to get out of the relegation zone, we need to win for a start and results need to be on our side. Jimmy Dumpling says, apologies about earlier, but so glad you enjoyed the play button. It's incredible, mate. He says, not drank, by the way. That as a sentence in itself kind of negates itself, kind of places the whole sentence in doubt. So you let me know whether you think Jamie Dumpling's drunk or not. Their goal is 37 and we couldn't score. Wayne says, I fear for Blaster in the SSD if he plays. He's likely to get crocked again. Oh, Steel City Derby, of course. But that'd be SCD, to be fair. Just to be pernickety win. If he plays, he's likely to get crocked again against the Wendy's, up the Blades, up all the Rambles. I don't know. You've just got to be careful with him, haven't you? In every game, it could happen in any game, couldn't it? That he got really badly injured again for Port Vale, didn't he? At one stage, with 22nd, 3 points adrift, third of the way through the season, and you're talking about missing out on the playoffs. I'm not talking about. I don't think the playoffs can even be a conversation, Keith. Oh, sorry, you've updated your thing here. It's better since we went 4-4-2, but we're running at a point a game over the last 10. It's not been nowhere near good enough, has it? Been nowhere near. Knows the pitch like the back of his knee, says Mark Meldrew. Brooks played today, says Free Shots. Susie says, there's a difference of performance and quality between 100% effort and when low on confidence and 100% effort when flying high. Keep the faith, it will turn. Safe this year, challenging again next. Love that, Susie Q. Hope you're good. Oh, Andy the Blade. Yeah, she met Andy the Blade. Yeah, that's better than meeting Hamza, isn't it? I would have said. We need quality, not quantity in January. I agree with that, and I think that's what we'll get. And that's the spirit. Susie Q says, Jimmy, quality is there. Is it? Confidence and fight is not. Things will change. Long way to go. So Susie's contradicting what I said earlier, and that's fine again. But because confidence is means so much at this level. At this, a good player with no confidence can look poor. A good player with sky-high confidence can look brilliant. So in that respect, you're right. And if they are players that we've seen of a certain level, like Harrison Burrows with the prime example at the moment, I think he's zero confidence, and he looks a shadow of the player that we've seen previously. But in spells last season, and even that 20-minute cameo, I can't remember who we were against now, that 20-minute cameo that we saw against Blackburn, wasn't it, other week, looked really, really good. Again, we know he's got those quality levels, and when he's riding that wave of confidence, he can hit those peaks and those highs again. How do we get the players consistently playing there? That's the question, isn't it? Key says the 10-point, running at a point a game over the last 10 games, which is 41 points. Not enough to stay up. Wilder keeps saying he hasn't a number 9, but he's got a 6'5" young lad on the bench who knows where the onion bag is. Ryan O'Neill, he came on today, didn't he? He came on today, so he started including him in. And if you feel he's someone, Keith, that we can look to as a real prospect for the future, then you must be pleased that he's starting to get some game time. So don't really think he made a great impact today, but again, he had limited minutes, and he's bleeding his way back into the squad, isn't he? So Ian says, evening, Jimmy. I said a few weeks ago when fit, Tom Davies is the best player at the club, and you scoffed at me. Showed his class today. Just wish he could stay fit up all the rambles. I don't remember that, Ian, but I certainly don't doubt it, mate. I probably did. I don't remember what I did yesterday, if I'm honest. So Tom Davies looked a class act today. I thought he looked a little bit dodgy when he came on against Coventry in spells, if I'm honest. But we, again, like we just said about other players, we know what he can bring us. We know Gus Ames is another example. We know what Gus can do on his day. He's the best player in the league on his day. It's just how do we get them in that mindset of playing at that level? And that's the difference. But Tom Davies, I completely agree with you. I think Dave the Nose has always been a big fan as well. If he's fit, he's in R11. He's just never fit. Luke says, stream started, ordered and picked up an Akbar's, got taxi home, ate the food, and Ramble's still going. God bless you, Jimmy. Also drinking a Coke, send all the loans back, get 5 more. Yeah, we're going to be discussing the loans over the international break, really. So we've got plenty coming up on the Ramble over the international break, as you'd expect, because we never stop. 3 Mardy Blades tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Myself, Man Mountain, and Dave the Nose will be back, all being well. I haven't spoken to him about it, but I assume that's the case. Also, coming up, we will have some football therapy every week on Ramble FC. That's usually on a Thursday evening. Check that out if you haven't already. I really enjoy doing that show. It's something different, talking a little bit wider topics in football. But talking blades over the international break, to keep your blades fix going, we will be doing a Steel City Showdown, talking about Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United, and who's the worst? We're the worst. No, we're the worst. No, we're the worst. No, all that sort of stuff. We will have a talking sense with Andy the Blade, which I have missed. And you're like, well, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. Let's just get you on stream and let's do it. We'll also, on Ramble FC, we'll continue with Yorkshire's Finest with Cal Fowler. The big thing that we're going to concentrate on doing over the international break this time is the plan for Jan. I may split it up into different streams like we have done previously. I may just do one monster stream. We'll see. We'll see how it best works out and how people prefer it. But I have to get my head around what we're going to do as a squad and what we need to do. So any suggestions that you've got, let me know what you think we need to do, who needs to go. I know the majority of people would send all the loans back. I think that's certainly up for discussion. I think I will probably do that, if I'm honest. And that immediately gives you loads of things to think about in terms of incomings again. So there's loads to discuss. There's loads to keep us going over the international break. So keep it Ramble. 3 Mardy Blades tomorrow, as I say. Let's have a look and see who the rest of the comments are just before we go. Jack says, a point in the game we started running into the box and then it stopped, Sean. All right, okay. Cody says, we need big signings in January. Keep it Ramble, people, says Bri. Thank you, Bri, one of our mods who does a great job here. Alessandro says, football therapy at this moment would not be watching Sheffield United. Yes, I agree with that. We need quality signings, says Jack. If he's fit, he's in R11, but he's never fit, says Mark Meldrew. He's not. He's not, is he? Never a fairer word said, I wouldn't have thought. Anyway, cheers, Jimmy, says Matt. Cheers to you all. Thank you to everyone for joining us. We had only a few callers tonight, but that's how United have got us feeling, isn't it, at the moment? So we'll leave it there. I hope Jamie Dumplings made it home safe and those adults didn't lead him astray. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. See you tomorrow for 3 Mardy Blades. Up the Blades!